And there we are. Nomadex Facebook family, we're back on track. Happy Monday. I think it is Monday. I'm not even really sure about it, but it feels like a Monday because it was the weekend. And here we are back again. And we're here with a real rock star. And it's not the first time that we have him on the show. His name is Alex, and he is a master brain. And for everyone who doesn't know him, I don't want to give the introduction because we leave that to him. But just to let you guys know, he was just recently in Portugal. He made up with Dave, and Dave was literally like became one of his biggest fans, and that's another reason why we have him here back on the show. Today we want to talk about coaching, we want to talk about testimonials, we want to talk what it takes to leverage and scale your coaching business on a way which you've probably never seen before. So Nomadex community, it's time to ask questions. It's time to say a big welcome to the man himself, Alex Steffen. Welcome to the show. I'm super pleased to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks, man. Thanks for the nice introduction. It's good to be back. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It was amazing going to Portugal. You guys have an amazing operation down there. And you asked me for an intro. Some of you guys know me. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a perspective why we're talking about this topic today and how you can make the best out of it. And so I used to be doing a lot of online work for client-based work, landing page optimization, that kind of work, back in the days when I was working and living in Colombia. And at that point, a few people pointed out where I could come and speak in their company and basically give them a perspective on, in my case, innovation and a little bit of a push to increase team performance, creativity, that kind of work. And I was kind of in my rat race, in my dynamic, and I was like, no, I'm busy. And after a few of these requests came in, I started realizing that other people thought of me as a thought leader, as somebody who can bring in value, can bring in insights into organizations. And whether that's you with other target audiences, maybe pushing people's high performance or pushing people's mindset blocks, right? But for me, it was innovation, and that's when the whole journey started. And I realized that people need people that push them and that bring in insights that they don't have in their everyday life, right? That's what coaches are for. That's what consultants are for, right? And if you're in this position, I will share with you today my journey, because what I did from there, I started literally from zero. I didn't have any experience. I didn't have any brand established. And over the years, I built that. And anybody who wants to have impact, anybody who wants to also streamline the way they get their income as a coach, as a consultant, you want to focus a lot on branding. I'm always saying 80% is branding, 80% of sales is branding, because indirectly or directly, your sales will be influenced by the way that people see you and your brand, your personal brand. And that's the case with big brands as well, right? But you can leverage this insight for your personal brand, right? And my journey...
I couldn't agree more. Sorry, please go on.
My journey led me to, working with amazing clients, and I really appreciate these opportunities, right? And that brings us full circle to where I am right now. And when people ask me if I can, help them with understanding branding better and helping them maybe go the next step, then those are the insights I'm sharing. And I'm gonna just throw everything I know in here today, and that's what this call is for. So I'm super excited. So thanks, Ollie.
Awesome. I love it. And I know you are an absolute expert when it comes to what you just mentioned it. But what I really like, you mentioned the word branding, like branding and probably like also standing out from others. And you said like it's 80%, it's all about branding. And it's probably the one and only reason why I became successful, because I kind of like figured out how to brand myself in a world where everyone tried to stand out. What would you advise to someone who is really jumping into the whole topic, like into the coaching scene? And I know a lot of people are struggling with the whole branding part. Where should they start?
It's a great question, because most people have felt one way or another that building your business can be hard, and building a personal business depends on you bringing massive value from your personal insights to another person's life or business, right? Whether, if you have no value transferred, there won't be coming any value back. I guess this is pretty obvious, but sometimes we forget it, right? So where to start? You want to stand out. That is what branding is, right? Why do you walk in the supermarket and you take the, the Lindt chocolate? Or why do you walk into a dealership and you already know which car you're going to get, right? Or maybe for our purposes, because few of us will using the example of a car, what makes you pick that one Airbnb over a different one, right? So even if you're listed on a platform, you want to be standing out, right? And it's simple things like the quality of your images, but it's also how you position yourself in the market of other options, right? And so where to start, the simple things. Like always in life, it's the simple things. So what is the unique proposition that you can bring to the market, right? And then rather than assuming that people know that already, assuming that people see it, you want to be using very precise language to communicate that out to people, because we're all busy. Attention span is very short, right? And it's rightfully so, because there's so much information coming at us. In fact, there's a study that says between 1985 and 2011, the information that's coming every individual, especially leaders who make decisions on a regular basis, has tripled, right? So 3 times the amount of information is coming at everybody nowadays, probably since 2011, even more, than it did in 1985. So our decision making, of course, depends on our ability to keep the attention span, but naturally there will be less, right? So what you're trying to do is, if you're trying to reach people, you should not just try to hammer harder. Not hammer harder. You should try to be smart about it. Start with the basics, communicate out what unique selling proposition, what unique value proposition you have, right? And it starts with, and I want to say, I want to maybe make a short list of 3 mistakes that I see happening all the time. I made them. A lot of people I help with start making them in the beginning, and then they change, and it has drastic effects. 3 mistakes that people make is stop selling to everyone. Number 1, just start niching down. People are afraid of niches because they think niches are too small, and then they don't have anybody to sell to. That's not true. If you become the hero for one specific niche, what will happen is those people will know nobody else but you to help them with, right? You'll become their hero. And then people they talk to, even if they don't fall into the same demographic, they will also understand that you are a person, a man or a woman, that can help with a specific case and potentially can help them with more, right? So even if they don't have that same niche, they'll still regard you as somebody who has a lot of insight and potentially become clients just by being your wider secondary audience, right? So niche down, do not sell to anybody, right? Out of fear of maybe not making sales, right? That's number 1. And that's a basic branding anyway. So second, a lot of people, because of the history of how coaching works, they start with selling single sessions, right? So you have a $85 session for therapy or for life coaching or something like that. Mm-hmm. The positioning that does is it automatically puts you in the basket with everybody else, because most people do that, right? Instead of that, create a transformation program. Create something where people walk through from an A point where they have a problem to a B point where you solve their problem. Take the risk of committing to solving that problem rather than just having calls with them, Take that risk, because that's branding. If you can solve problems and you can always again and again position yourself as the problem solver, people start seeing you as that, and people start seeing nobody else at the market, right? Stop charging single sessions. Single sessions, they can help people take the next step. But you can't tell me that in 45 minutes you will always get people a life transformation. Likely not, unless you're maybe a master like Tony Robbins. Then maybe yes, right? But the vast majority of us won't. But guiding somebody along the journey, you'll most likely get them a massive transformation in their life, and that's what why you should get money back or value back, right? And then the third one that I tell people in the beginning, to specifically answer your question, is the third one is a lot of people in the beginning are afraid to to charge zero, to do things for free. They're afraid because it's a paradox. They think, oh, it's going to be bad branding if I give something for free. Now, giving something for free both lets you test what you have to offer, right? With your test clients that are the people that get your value, your full value, but they don't pay you. And second, it gets you testimonials, it gets you transformation stories, it gets you those neat little client logos that a lot of people have on their website when you have worked with people, right? When you have transformed them. And you want that in the beginning to build momentum, right? And then it's okay to give them a value exchange. It's okay to give them something for a lower price or for free. But a lot of people are afraid to do that. And that's where they're stopping. And that's where they're not making any progress, right? So that's the three. Don't sell to everyone. Don't sell single sessions. And then also don't be too proud to charge zero, to give something for free. That's the three mistakes that I keep seeing people make.
Got you. I think that first of all, boom, value bomb, massive value bomb, and thanks so much for sharing.
Sure.
Note by the side, guys, we have a decent amount of people dropping into that live stream. So guys, if you have questions, now is the time to ask. And if you are too shy to ask, you can do that later on as well. We want to ensure everything gets answered later on, but at least leave us a like, leave us a heart, push that button, and we're going to make sure, boom, boom, yeah, we're going to be all on top of the spot for you guys, and we're going to make sure.
I'm checking the chat as well, so do post your
awesome
and questions.
Awesome. What I want to touch base on it, and this is number 3 you mentioned, giving away the whole value for free, even working for free, or doing it just for testimonials. How important are testimonials these days?
Mm-hmm. Whether, and I mean, I'm not talking only exclusively, it's a great question, not exclusively about, testimonials that you get from people that haven't paid you. We're talking about all the testimonials. Testimonials are massive. Nobody here, nobody anywhere will deny the power of a testimonial. But I'm going to tell you something that might shock some of you people, which is, testimonials are limited in their potency. And I almost never use testimonials because they fall short of the potential that I want when I talk about how people do. Mm-hmm. Imagine this. You say, you have your landing page, or you have your website, or you have a PDF selling services, and somebody says, working with Ollie or working with Maria or working with, this person was amazing. And that person truly transformed me and I have so much value. I definitely recommend that person, right? What's your first thought? You're like, cool. But you don't go, that convinced me. You don't, because anybody could write it. This could be a friend of the coach or consultant. You've seen a million of them. It's just like, it's noise. It's like you expect it. Actually, it's not noise. It's a hygiene factor. You expect it. If it's not there, you're like, why isn't it there? But anybody can come up with it right away. You could call your friend up and say, could you give me a testimonial? Will your friend say no? Your friend loves you. Of course, you can never check. You can never trust testimonials. However, a transformation story, that's what I'm using. A transformation story is a completely different story. So you say, this is Petra. Petra had problem A. And thanks to working with us, thanks to working with me, we took her to point B. And now what she can do is she suddenly has a lot less anxiety. She suddenly has a lot more dynamic in her business. She makes, double the income. This is what you want to do. You want to use client transformation stories. You want to tell a story about a testimonial rather than just providing a testimonial. And of course, that person still needs to be there, but you want to use the full potential of your quote unquote testimonial by using a client transformation story. That's so important. So stop using testimonials. Make the effort to turn them into stories, right? And it's not that hard, especially if you have good work,
Gotcha, gotcha, and that makes totally sense, and it's kind of like also what I wanted to touch base on it because I think that's something people don't understand these days, and you just explained it in a perfect way.
Thank you.
Switching gears a little bit. You brought today, so everyone can learn. You brought a free guide with you, where
Yep.
people actually can get that value from you. It's completely free, guys, and I drop it into the comments while we're talking right now. What can people expect when they get that free guide from you?
Right. So I formed some stories in there because stories are the way that people understand how, how the world works, but also how a certain challenge is overcome. Right. And, there's an example of a person that is, struggling with the common mistakes. And there's an example of a person that's doing some simple steps, no rocket science, some simple steps to build herself a better brand. And that is, as I said, 80% of what creates the power of selling better, right? So that's what you can expect. You can expect a few actionable lists of things that, just like what I shared just now, things that you can use, you can apply right away. There's no magic around it. And if you do, you'll get better results. There's no question about it. They've been tested with dozens of people, and these things work. So just go through them. One thing I often experience with people, I experienced this in the past, is what I call guru noise, right? So what we do is we post, Instagram or, some social channel, and there's so many people sharing their amazing insights, and they're all amazing. And in their own right, they're all great coaches. Most of them, of course, there's also scammers, but let's assume they're all great coaches. Problem is, we start listening to this guy and this girl and the third one and the fourth one. And we're confused because some of the method of number one doesn't fit with some of the method of number four. And we start getting confused, let alone all the other things we read here and there and our friends tell us, etc. That's what I call guru noise. You got to make one choice. Commit to one guru, commit to one person that you trust can take you somewhere, and then listen to that person. It doesn't have to be, it can be your friend. It doesn't have to be a coach, a consultant. It can be somebody that you just trust, but be aware of the guru noise. Be aware that if your friend tells you something, you implement it, and it doesn't fit with somebody else's method. It might be you who's mixing methods. It might not be the fault of the method of person A or your friend. Just be aware of that, right? So some of these things are very actionable. You just have to take them and put them in your business. However, be aware of it. I'm just another of those persons giving my perspective. Be aware of it. It'll do you so much good. Trust me.
Awesome, man. I love it. And it's awesome, bro. It's like so spot on. I couldn't agree more. I just, while you were talking, I dropped that into the comments. So guys, if you want to download that free guide, there it is. It's all in the comments. And even if you watch the recording later on, it will still be there. And we're going to send it to you out personally. I'm going to make sure you guys are all getting that.
Don't forget to leave questions in the comments.
Don't forget to leave the questions, guys. Ask. And I think that's the perfect time. It's definitely, it is the time where you should ask questions, where you should come together. And we have a legend here. And I'm just like, you know what just happened, bro? You know what just literally just happened? I was checking the time, and I've been like, oh my fucking God, we're running towards the end. Time is running so fast. I feel like you were just like dropping value bombs, dropping value bombs. It was like, oh my God, I was just like sitting here. It's like just listening. It's like, how can I keep up with all that? Absolutely amazing. So Alex, first of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for coming back to us, to the community, being such an active part of the community and providing all that value. Personal question before we turn towards the end. What can we expect from you for the rest of the year? What are your plans?
I have an exciting book coming out, and the publishing date isn't finished yet, but it's about adaptive intelligence, and it's about how we can make better decisions under uncertainty. So it's something that not enough people are talking about, and that information really needs to get out. So I decided to build on the work I've been doing over the last years and double down on neuroscience and how leaders can basically make better decisions and be on top of their neurology and and then just, get out there and lead better, because that's what we need in the world, especially now with all this uncertainty, all these, this ambiguity and anxiety floating around. We need better leaders. So that's my commitment for this year, and I'm excited. So if you're into this, hope to see you sometime when I publish it, when it's coming out.
I love it. Definitely keep us in the loop when this is going to be released. I'm excited for that. For today, we dropped. No. That's completely wrong. Not we. You dropped many value bombs here, and thank you so much for this. I'm super stoked about having you on the show. Time was kind of like running like boom. This was like 20 minutes are over like nothing. Guys, we have a lot more to come, NomadX community, but for today, it's the free guide. It's in the comments. I've seen some questions dropping in. We can't take care about all of them today, but we're gonna make sure that all them getting answered later on in the comments, on the stream, on the records. Alex is gonna take care about that. I'm gonna make sure I tag him if it's not gonna happen, but he's a very responsible guy. So I'm super confident that that's all gonna work out really well. And if you guys don't know, Alex is also one of our Nomad experts, because we featured him on the page already. So nomadx.com, check it out. That's where you want to go. For today, Alex, thank you very much for coming back again to the stream. It was a pleasure. Time was running by. It was like I had so much things prepared that I didn't even have time to touch base, and it was like awesome. I love it. And I'm excited to keep following you. I'm excited to see what you're coming up next. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All the best, everybody. Leave your comments. Thanks.
Awesome. NomadX community, stay tuned. We had an awesome 20-minute stream. We're going to be back on Wednesday. Check the event section. There is a guy called Andrew Miller. He's going to teach you how to scale your startup with zero ad cost. I'm super stoked about that stream on Wednesday. That's going to be next. And we're going to be here with daily value bombs as always for you. But for today, we're out. And thank you very much for everyone who's listening and watching. And special thank you to Alex.
Thank you.